business, because if you want to be, let's say, a 6-figure entrepreneur or 7-figure entrepreneur, and you're not that yet, that means because internally you're not this person yet. Your mindset is not the mindset of a 6 or 7-figure income earner. So your money story is basically what's holding you back. Well, the money story and a lot of other things, a lot of other limiting beliefs that are holding you back from becoming that 6, 7-figure income earner. Because when it comes to success, when it comes to anything in life, it's not about the doing part. It doesn't matter how much you do to make something happen. Mm-hmm. It's about who you need to become inside to make that happen. Mm-hmm. So if you want to be, let's say, a public speaker, you don't become a public speaker by just going out there and speaking. You have to become a public speaker first inside, because then you have all these limiting beliefs coming up. Oh my God, what if I make a fool out of myself when you stand on the stage, and those type of things. So you become whatever you want to become within first, and then whatever you do from the outside is actually going to create what you want to have, what you want to create for yourself. Mm-hmm. Now, step number 3 would be then really getting rid of your inner gremlins. Like, I have a lot of different modalities that I use with my clients, from EFT, then the Akashic Records, energy healing, some other modalities to help them really get rid of their inner gremlins. Because once you know where you want to go and what's holding you back, then you have a choice to let go of those limiting beliefs, to let go of the self-doubt, the fears, the overwhelm, and all of that. And then the next step is really then, okay, now that you got rid of your inner gremlins, how do you rather want to live your life? What do you want your new money story to be, to really then create that new life, the business, or whatever you want to create, on paper first, because you need to have that clear vision of where do you want to go? What do you want to create? How is your perfect day, your perfect life going to look like? Mm-hmm. And then step number 5 is really making it happen. Really having those daily activities in place to really keep you on track. So when inner gremlins trying to come up again, you know what you need to do to keep them at bay, to keep up that positive mindset, to keep up your vibration. Because if you or any of the listeners have ever heard of law of attraction, you attract what you think about, or you attract the same things that you're a vibrational match at. So if you're not vibrating at the same level of, the financial success that you want, the business success, or, whatever it is that you want to create, if you're not vibrating at that same level, you're not going to create that. You're going to create more of the same thing that you have right now. So if you have a lot of lack right now, a lot of bills, and a lot of, struggles, mm-hmm. and if that's where your focus is, you're going to create more of that. So in the 5th step, I really help my clients shift their mindset around so they are in a much difference, in a higher state, so then they can vibrate at the level to manifest the things that they really want. So that's really the 5-step process that I take my clients through to really help them create the success on a mindset level. And then we'll do the business side.
Sure, of course. So I'm curious then, in this process, how did you then become a business coach in your own, process to be able to do these types of things and help out people at such a high level?
Well, it was really my, was it evolution or my growth? I started out as a holistic life coach back in 2012. No idea what I was doing. I was struggling for many, many years until I then got certified. And I'm like, okay, now, I need to have a coach. I don't know what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. So that's when I got certified as a personal development coach. But I rebranded to a business coach because I was always good when it comes to creating websites, the landing pages, the graphic design. So I'm a little bit of an artist too. Mm-hmm. So I was really good at that. I just didn't really know how to actually build a business. So that's when I really, worked with a coach, and she helped me really start getting the first few clients. And then throughout my own struggles, because I had a whole lot of mindset challenges going on, that's when my coach was telling me it's not about the doing, but it's about the becoming, like I mentioned earlier. Mm-hmm. And that's when initially it didn't really sink in until I sat with it and it really hit me. Because at that point, I had done a whole lot of stuff to grow my business, to build my business, but I was not getting the results that I wanted. And then I was really diving deep into personal development, learning more things. And then I was really being guided to the spiritual path. I mean, I just found out about close to 2 years ago that I'm an empath. So that's when my spiritual journey kind of started happening. It was really like the universe was smacking me in the head more times than I liked, and really led me onto the path that I'm on right now. And it was really, that's where I was supposed to be at all along. But I had to really go through all the struggles first to learn the things that I need to learn, to figure out, how to go from completely broke, not having any clients, to being more abundant, shifting my mindset around, because that's exactly the things that I'm supposed to help my clients with, is because that's what most people struggle with, is having that lack mindset, not really seeing what's really possible, that it can be easy. Making money can be easy. But so many don't think that because, the programming that we received. So I really had to go through all the things that that I've been through to get to where I'm at today, because now I'm at a level where I can help my clients not just on building their business, but also becoming the person that allows success, that the person that, feels abundant and can really manifest whatever they want to manifest.
Oh, sure. So while you were going through that process, were there books that you were reading, or because you mentioned a mentor and business coach? Were there additional classes you were taking, or in your own personal journey to have more of an abundance mindset, what were some materials that or conversations that really helped you?
Oh boy. Oh my God. I don't think we have enough time for that. It was, let's put it like this. I was studying a lot. When I began my search to finding my answers, I read books, I took courses, I talked to people. I was, teachers came into my life, and even if I just had a conversation with someone that I met on LinkedIn, and I just took one little piece from them, what they said, I wrote it down, and I, did some research on that. I met people locally who, introduced me to the angel world and all these things. And then, my coach taught me stuff. I had different coaches. I had different mentors. So it was really, I can't really tell you that it was just like one thing. I really did a lot of things over the last few years, really to learn the things I needed to learn. I'm a personal development junkie. If I can't learn something that helps me grow, I don't feel right. So, but I did do a lot of reading, a lot of books, a lot of courses. And like I said, all the teachers that I was supposed to learn from, they came into my life. So it wasn't that I was out there like looking for them. I'm like, hey, what do I need to do? Where's my next step? What direction I'm supposed to go into? And everything just kind of like started to fall in place. It wasn't always pretty, but everything just kind of like fell in place. And because I was resisting a lot as well. That was my problem. I was resisting a lot. But everything just started to fall in place. And, the biggest thing was like I had to trust. I had to really surrender that and really believe that anything is possible. And it kind of brings me to one of my favorite authors, Wayne Dyer. He said, you got to believe it before you see it. And I think that's like the biggest challenge that most people have, is like, how can you believe in something if you don't see it? It's just like too good to be true, right? That's like what you get, like, oh, it's just too good to be true. It's not for me. I can't do that. But it's really when you really tune into that and really believe that anything is possible, eventually you're going to surrender to that because you really want that.
In your own practice, what are some, let's say, bad advice that you see given out to small business owners or people starting to get into writing? What's some really bad advice that you see that people should avoid?
Bad advice. That's a good question. You got me with this one. I'm not sure. Well, when it comes to business, let's put it like this. A lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs, startup entrepreneurs, they try to do it themselves. So I wouldn't consider that as bad advice, but this is like a good advice coming from me now, like don't start your business on your own. Sure. Maybe one thing that people might say, oh, you can figure it out yourself, just keep at it, you'll be fine. But the thing is, if you've never grown a business, how are you supposed to know how to build a business? So that is one thing I know for myself. Like I was one of those, startup coaches. I'm like, I need to make money first before I can hire a coach. Well, that's really the wrong mentality to have, because you need to have someone that's already where you want to be, because that person can take you where you want to be much, much faster than you trying to figure it out yourself. You're going to be spinning your wheels. You're going to be spending a lot of money on the trial and error. You're going to be wasting time trying to figure the stuff out. So if you don't work with a coach or a mentor, you're really going to be wasting a whole lot of time and a whole lot of resources and a whole lot of money. And you're actually doing yourself and your future client a huge disservice, because the time that you take, let's say a year, 2 years, 3 years to figure the stuff out, how many people could you have helped during that time? So that is one thing. If anyone ever, tells you don't work with a coach, you can figure it out yourself, you don't have to waste your money on a coach, don't listen to that. Now, when it comes to writing a book, the same thing. I would definitely suggest, if you've never written a book, maybe not, you don't have to necessarily work with someone on it, but at least get a book to read about how you're supposed to be writing a book. And then, get someone to edit your stuff and look at your stuff, because oftentimes you're too close to your own stuff that you don't see when you made a mistake or where it doesn't really sound all that great. So that's another thing, about the book writing. Also, you don't have to go through an actual publisher. You can self-publish your book, and it's really not as hard as it might seem. So I think that's one of the things that's also, a lot of people say, writing a book is difficult and it's so challenging. It really is not. I just wrote mine within 45 days and self-published, and it is really not that hard. So I think, does that answer your question now?
Yeah, it definitely does. Thank you. With your own journey, how did you approach those times when you were fearful, maybe about moving forward or about making a decision in your business, and how have you pushed past that fear?
Well, initially it was a lot harder. Initially, before I learned all these, personal development tools and the mindset tools, it was more like me crying and, like going to bed and like, oh my God, I'm giving up. Oh my God, really being a little baby. But then my coach was really, he was the one who really kicked me in the behind and said, snap out of it. Now it's like, now that I learned a lot about my fears, they're really just illusions. Like one of the biggest fears that I'm having right now is, not really fear, but like an uncomfortable feeling. It turns from fear into an uncomfortable feeling, is getting out there and actually speaking in front of people. I was really resisting that a lot. Doing interviews like that has helped me tremendously, where now I feel comfortable like that. But now one of the fears still, the public speaking is still a little fearful for me. But then I really look at it. Well, what's the higher truth here? They're not going to shunt me. They're not going to throw eggs at me or anything like that. I know what I'm talking about. I love talking about mindset. So when I talk about mindset, I'm going to be on fire. So I'm going to inspire people. So it is all just, those fears that we have, they're just illusions. That's our monkey mind trying to keep us playing small. Because anytime when you try to step out of your comfort zone and try to do something that is uncomfortable, your ego mind is going into fear mode. Oh my God, that is something different. That is something new. This is challenging. This is, oh my God, I'm freaking out here. And that's just your ego trying to keep you safe, because your ego wants you to stay in that little bubble because it's safe. It's known. It's comfortable. Even though you might be going through a really tough time right now, it's still comfortable because it's known. You know how it feels. You know how crappy you're feeling right now. It's nothing different. But when you allow yourself to step out of your comfort zone and become successful or make a lot more money, your ego is going to freak out, because that's different. Mm-hmm. It is uncomfortable, because if you would make like double the money that you're making right now within just a few days, it's going to be uncomfortable at first, because all of a sudden you have more money. It's something new. It's the fear of the unknown, or even the fear of success, because once you are successful, people are going to have expectations for you. People are going to look at you differently. So all of that, when you try to do something and all of a sudden you have that little, monkey mind saying, don't do that. You don't need to do that. You're probably going to fail anyways. And, don't worry about it. That's just your ego trying to keep you safe. Because anytime you come up to like fears like that, when you allow yourself to break through that, that's where the magic happens. If you allow your fear to stop you, you're just going to keep staying in your comfort zone. But when you really allow yourself to see what's going on and really see it for what it is, it's just illusion. It's the lies that we've been telling ourselves, that I'm not good enough. I can't do this. Oh my God, people are going to judge me. People are going to reject me. That's not the truth. That's not the truth. So that's just all